Right now, taking pride in this forecast. This weekend marks 30 years since Madison's first gay pride parade, and the weather looks like it'll cooperate for many of those festivities. Chris is tracking when our next chance for rain is. And drive sober or get pulled over. What's behind the latest push to curb drunk driving? And while you'll be seeing more officers on the roads this weekend through Labor Day.
That bullet doesn't know where it's flying, and it doesn't care.
And after shots fired on the Beltline Friday stalled cars on Madison's main thoroughfare, city leaders are now talking about the possible ways to stop local gun violence.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now This Morning.
Good morning, and thanks for starting your day with us here. It's News 3 Now, Saturday, August 17th. I'm joined with meteorologist Chris Reese. Can you believe it's August 17th?
Barely, but yes, I can.
And I have to say, it's good to see you, Chris. We both kind of had some trips that kept us apart.
Last weekend, I think you were gone, so it feels like it's been a while since we've been together at the desk. You were in California. And I was in Charleston, South Carolina.
Both very traditionally warm places, but
opposite coastlines.
Opposite coastlines. But the weather here, people go, "Oh, you're from Wisconsin," and I say, "Yeah, but it's still pretty warm here right now."
It's of course it was a lot cooler than South Carolina, but things are definitely summer-like here, and we're going to see more of that humidity and warmth as we go through today as well. We're starting things out at 63 degrees, folks, and notice those winds are coming out of the south. We're going to keep that around going through today, and that'll keep us fairly warm and fairly humid. As you work your way towards central Wisconsin, things are just a little bit cooler. 55 for Wautoma, Camp Douglas, and Black River Falls. Those 60s are more of a story as you work your way towards the Illinois state line. But here's what happens as we go through your day. We're going to reach the upper 70s by lunch, topping out right around 83 by the time we get you, say, towards 3 or 4 o'clock. No showers or thunderstorms are out there this morning. Yesterday was a different story, but we're quiet to start this day. But we're going to be watching the radar as we head into the afternoon for maybe 1 or 2 pop-up showers. I think a bigger chance for showers and storms is going to come overnight. In fact, here's Future Track, and watch what happens at 1 o'clock in the morning. You see all of that activity to the west. We're going to time that out as far as when it could impact us once we get towards main weather. But if you're planning this afternoon, it's going to be a pretty good one for you, folks. Lots of sunshine.
We can tuck the rainy weather in overnight.
Yes, we will tuck it in.
While everyone else is tucked in except for you and I.
I know.
All right, thank you, Chris.
My pleasure.
Well, into the Channel 3000 Alert Center overnight, an armed robbery in Portage led to a car chase and an eventual crash in Madison. The Columbia County Sheriff's Office says they received a report around 6 o'clock Friday that the Summit Credit Union was being robbed at gunpoint. They say the robber, 40-year-old Jeffrey Parker of Madison, ordered employees to lay on the floor and put physical restraints on them. He got away with an unknown amount of money, and that's when the chase began, at times topping speeds of more than 100 miles an hour. The robber eventually crashed into a FedEx truck at the intersection of East Wash and Stoughton Road on State Highway 51. Parker is now in the Columbia County Jail. Several streets are closed this morning for the Madison Mini Marathon. Roads will only be closed when runners are present, and police will be at intersections to close streets as necessary. The only 2 streets closed right now before the race are at North Park and Langdon Streets, which is where the start and finish lines are located. All roads will reopen at 11 a.m. Madison police are still searching for the suspects involved in a rush hour shooting on the Beltline Friday morning. Police say a gun battle happened just before Rimrock Road, where several rounds of gunfire were exchanged. Now, they believe this is a result of the ongoing dispute between 2 parties involved. Police were able to locate both cars in the Madison area, but the suspects still on the loose. You are asked to call Crime Stoppers if you have any information about this shooting. City leaders are working to find a solution to the frequent shootings happening across Madison. Alder Tag Evers says he supports making changes to gun laws. Now, Alder Paul Skidmore says the term gun control is only a fragment of the solution, and new legislation won't put an end to the crime. He says the fix is to support the Madison Police Department, which he says begins at the mayor's office.
City Council and the mayor is behind public safety. We're behind the police department to stop this.
Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway did not respond to an interview request. City leaders agree a solution needs to be found before this problem turns deadly. Deputies had to evacuate people in the area of Rock County at the Rock County Sheriff's Office after a man brought an explosive device there. Now, according to officials, the man found it Friday while cleaning his mother's garage in Janesville. Not sure what to do with it, the man loaded it into the front seat of his car and drove it to them. Once deputies realized what was in the car, they evacuated the area, afraid it might explode. The Rockford Bomb Squad will now properly dispose of the device. New this morning, all eyes are on the economy this weekend after Wall Street closed its wild week with a rally. The Dow up more than 300 points. Now, 2/3 of the country's CFOs surveyed by Duke University expect a recession by the end of next year. Despite that, President Trump continues to insist all is well with the economy. But the president's trade war with China and sagging economies in Europe and South America have stoked fears of a recession, a major warning sign for the president heading into the 2020 election.
You have no choice but to vote for me because your 401ks, down the tubes, everything's going to be down the tubes.
According to the president, both the media and the Federal Reserve are working against him and holding back the economy. Switching gears now, more local news. The American Red Cross is asking for your help this weekend as it deals with a blood and platelet shortage. This comes as many of their regular donors are either on summer vacation or preparing for the school year to start. In Madison, you can give blood every day from now through September 14th. There are a number of surrounding communities who could use donations as well. You can visit the Red Cross website to learn more about how to donate in our area. And check your lottery ticket. If you purchased one in Johnson Creek, you could be $100,000 richer. We're told the player purchased an all-or-nothing ticket from the Linmar BP near the outlet mall. The ticket matched all 11 numbers in the game listed there on your screen. The odds of winning the all-or-nothing prize are less than $350,000. Meanwhile, also check your beer before you drink it this weekend. A Milwaukee-based brewery is recalling one of its brews because there is a risk it could explode. Lakefront Brewery is asking people with the My Turn junk beer to refrigerate it or carefully dispose of the bottles. According to a Facebook post, the wild yeast from the cherries used to brew the beer may continue to ferment, building up pressure in the bottle. The beer itself is completely safe to drink. For anyone who tosses the beer, the brewery is offering a refund. We have that information up on our website, channel3000.com. And law enforcement across the state will be ramping up their efforts to prevent drunk driving for the rest of this month. Hundreds more patrol cars will be out on the road for longer hours this weekend through Labor Day. You can help them by getting a designated driver for yourself or reporting dangerous drivers. If you need a way to get home after having too much to drink, you can download the DOT's Drive Sober app to find a ride or take advantage of the Tavern League's Safe Ride program. If your weekend drive takes you to Sun Prairie, you can enjoy a hot piece of sweet corn right now. The town's Sweet Corn Festival continues today and tomorrow. People can purchase a tote of corn for just $8. About 70 tons of corn has been shipped into Sun Prairie for the event, where it'll be moved down a conveyor belt and volunteers will fill the totes. There's one woman, Carol Burrow, who's attended Cornfest for 45 years, and she says she can't imagine a better place to get the stuff.
Each community has a different celebration of what's going on in their town, and we happen to have the Cornfest. It's wonderful corn. I mean, I've been eating it for 45 years, and I've never gotten tired of it.
People can add butter to their corn as well as salt, which will be hanging from containers in a, quote, salt tree. Uncooked corn will also be available to buy. Uneaten corn and husks will be collected to give to a farmer with a lot of pigs at the end of the festival. The Brewers will be looking for some redemption tonight after a tough 2-1 loss to the Nationals last night. Let's start with the highlights. The Brew Crew came out swinging strong with Orlando Arcia hitting homer number 13 to put the team up 1-0. The Nationals answered in the bottom of the inning, and fast forward to the 8th, a fly to Christian Yelich turns into a go-ahead run. The Brewers lose 2-1. Jordan Lyles is pitching tonight for Game 2 of the series. That starts at 6:05, and the team really needs a win. They're now 2 games out of the first in the NL Central and 1 game back in the wild card. 1 week from today is the start of college football season, and the Badgers have an extra 6 days after that. They'll likely need it. The preseason Wisconsin head football coach Paul Chryst has made one guarantee about his starting quarterback. He said we'll have one. The Badgers starting QB yet to be made official. Junior Jack Cohn's getting most of the first team reps in practice, but Chase Wolf's elbowing his way through a bunched quarterback room. The redshirt freshman says the biggest difference between the preseason and last is confidence.
Freshman year, I was kind of playing catch up, knowing the playbook and trying to adjust and try to be like everybody else. And coming spring, I kind of like knew everything and I was able to play my game. And now I'm just trying to polish it here.
I've definitely seen him, become more comfortable with the playbook and things along those lines. And he's throwing the ball really well, making great plays with his feet. And it's been really fun to watch.
It is 5:11 right now, and you're taking a live look over the Capitol, where vendors are getting ready for hopefully another busy day at the farmers market. Chris has your full farmers market forecast just ahead.
Well, good Saturday morning, folks. Things are starting off on a quiet note as opposed to, say, just 24 hours ago when we had the multiple rounds of showers and thunderstorms moving on through here. Temperature-wise, we're at 63 degrees with clear skies out there. Winds are out of the south and southwest at 5 miles per hour. And, folks, as we keep that southerly wind flow in play, that does mean that things will continue to stay on the warmer and humid side for us going through the day. But we're starting out again, just very comfortable this morning. Lots of us are in the 50s even as you work your way towards central Wisconsin, Wautoma, Camp Douglas, Black River Falls, all of those spots at 55 degrees. You start to see the low 60s showing up a bit more as you get closer towards the state line. And I think all of us are going to see all enough a pretty warm day as we get you towards the afternoon. But here's high resolution Doppler right now. No showers or thunderstorms out over Wisconsin, but Doppler track has been tracking at least some sporadic activity throughout the upper Midwest at times. A lot of that away from us right now. Right now, the biggest cluster of showers and thunderstorms is throughout parts of Kansas and Missouri. That's where they have had a noisy night between a cold front and a warm front. Those two fronts together over Kansas and Missouri are forcing the air upwards. That's creating more of the showers and thunderstorms. As for us, we're going to pay attention to the cold front that you see coming across the high plains right now, parts of Montana and North Dakota. That is going to be bringing us chances for rain as we move into the overnight hours. In fact, watch those showers and thunderstorms develop throughout the high plains later on this afternoon. And then as we move towards the overnight time frame, watch how that begins to impact us here in central Wisconsin. Now, behind that is more high pressure, and then eventually, get this, we're going to set up for an amazing middle of the week. But let's go ahead and time out these rain chances for you guys first. This is lunchtime today. Temperatures will be into the upper 70s at that point. Still plenty of sunshine. Once we see the peak heating of the afternoon, look for those highs right around 83 degrees. And then we'll cool down overnight tonight. We'll see those temperatures into the upper 60s initially, and then bam, by this time tomorrow morning, we may see that line of showers and thunderstorms moving on through here. Some heavy rain, a lot of lightning with that, though I'm not anticipating a large threat of severe weather. But once that clears out, we'll see more sunshine into Sunday afternoon, and temperatures right around 84 degrees for your high. We'll see a nice day on Monday. It'll be warm and humid. We'll see another rain chance into Tuesday. But Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are fantastic. We'll see a bit more humidity with a few more chances for rain, though, by the time we get you towards next weekend, Keely.
And Chris, you're off one of those, like, we have weird weekends being on our shift. So I'm off on some of those really nice days, which is kind of a treat.
Yeah,
Good.
it'll be nice.
Well, we'll head to the pool.
Okay.
Thanks, Chris.
My pleasure.
It's 5:17, and award show season is right around the corner. And this morning, we're talking about the Emmys, VMAs, and a special honor for an Oscar-winning actress. Plus, we're hopping behind the wheel. And before you think you don't care about a car show happening over in California, auto experts say the trends there will soon pop up in our neck of the woods. That's just ahead on News 3 Now this morning, Saturday. Welcome back. Let's take a look at what's trending this morning. MTV has announced that rapper Missy Elliott is the recipient of this year's Video Vanguard Award. The honor has been a staple at the show for 35 years and was renamed in honor of Michael Jackson back in '91. Missy Elliott perhaps is best known for songs like Work It, Get Your Freak On, and Lose Control. Elliott will perform a medley of her hits. Her first set at the show was in 2006. Bad Bunny, Camila Cabello, and a number of other artists will take the stage this year, and those awards are on August 26th. Actress Octavia Spencer will receive the Inspiration Award from the Gay, Lesbian, and Straight Education Network later this year. The Oscar-winning Spencer is being recognized for devoting her career to diverse storytelling and being a steadfast ally for the LGBTQ community. The gala will take place in Beverly Hills in October. And Powerhouse director Ava DuVray says her date for this year's Emmy Awards will be the real-life Central Park 5. Her Netflix series, When They See Us, received 16 Emmy nominations, including one for Outstanding Miniseries. Netflix says 23 million accounts tuned in for the 4-part drama worldwide. And this woman gained notoriety after becoming the first Black female director to have her film, Selma, nominated for an Oscar. And the characters from Jim Henson's 1982 film, The Dark Crystal, are coming back to life. Taron Egerton, Nathaniel Emmanuel, and Anya Taylor-Joy lead the cast in Netflix prequel series, The Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance. You might remember the dark fantasy adventure film for its groundbreaking use of animatronics as well as puppets. The new show premieres August 30th. The annual Car Week is happening in Monterey, California this weekend, and it promises to show off the best of the world's most luxurious and fastest cars. Car makers say this year they're seeing more women than ever get behind the wheel. Betty Yu takes us for a ride.
It's fierce, it's fast, and it's meant to be as comfortable for, yes, everyday driving as it is for showing off Italian muscle. The Lamborghini Urus is a super SUV and is now the company's best-selling car, accounting for half of all Lamborghinis sold.
Urus open up really new doors to the female target, so that's what we were expecting, by the way. I believe that Urus is what I call a generous Lamborghini, because you can share the experience with your friends, with your family.
The Urus, which starts at $200,000, is the brand's most popular car for women and is promising record growth for Lamborghini. I got to experience the ride myself on the streets of Carmel. It's meant to be more accessible and functional, but the twin-turbocharged V8 with 641 horsepower still roars to life. I'm not the only woman attracted to supercars. Luxury car makers say they're seeing more women than ever become owners.
I drive fast cars.
Lee Bailey is at Monterey Car Week to pick up her Rolls-Royce Cullinan, the brand's first all-terrain SUV, similar to this one. Lee is retired, but she and her husband were owners of dozens of McDonald's franchises.
I think it's a matter of women are becoming more assertive, more self-confident. They're stepping up and finding out all the fun that the men have been having all these years with their cars.
Rolls-Royce says that 20% of their customers here in the U.S. are women. That's double the amount for the company globally. On the racetrack, Ferrari says it's seeing more female drivers. The North America Ferrari Challenge hosts 50 clients at each race. 5 years ago, there were no female participants. Today, there are about 4 at each race that compete with the men.
I think that women want to celebrate themselves, and they want to experience a new thing. They like the emotions that they can get out of a car.
Ultra-luxury car companies are taking notice. They're fine-tuning more of their design options to a feminine sensibility. For example, Lee's other Rolls-Royce was customized to match her watch colors. She had 44,000 colors to choose from.
I see it more as an extension of yourself, as an accessory.
It's something Lamborghini's chief marketing officer, Katia Bassi, understands very well. She's the company's first female executive, and she also created its first female advisory board.
I can see that the automotive business is very traditional. And what I hope is that they open their eyes and that they can see that they can incorporate the different experiences.
At Monterey Car Week, Betty Yu, KPIX 5.
And Car Week runs through tomorrow. There's much more ahead on News 3 Now. Next, we're running through the morning's top stories. Plus, you can expect to see more officers out on area roads now through Labor Day. What's caused this end of the summer push? We'll tell you when we're back.
I love
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning. It's August 17th. I'm Keely Arthur. We'll get a check of your first alert forecast with Chris in just a second. But first, here are 3 things to know as you start your day. Madison police are asking for your help this weekend as they continue to search for the suspects involved in a rush hour shooting on the Beltline. Police say a gun battle happened just before Rimrock Road Friday when several rounds of gunfire were exchanged. They believe this is the result of an ongoing dispute between the two parties. Police were able to locate both cars in the Madison area, but the suspects still on the loose. You are asked to call Crime Stoppers if you have any information about the incident. The American Red Cross is asking for your help this weekend as it deals with a blood and platelet shortage. This comes as many of their regular donors are either on summer vacation or preparing for the school year to start. In Madison, you can give blood every day from now through September 14th, and there are a number of surrounding communities who are also in need of donations. You can visit the Red Cross's website to learn more about how to donate in your area. And hundreds more patrol cars will be out on the road for longer hours this weekend through Labor Day. You can help them by getting a designated driver for yourself or reporting dangerous drivers. If you need a way to get home after having too much to drink, you can download the DOT's Drive Sober app to find a ride or take advantage of the Tavern League's Safe Ride program. And now here's meteorologist Chris Reese with your Saturday forecast. Hi, Chris.
Good morning, Keely. Good morning to all of you all, and welcome to the weekend. Things are starting off on a very nice note for us, especially after some of those showers and thunderstorms we had yesterday morning. Clear skies right now, temperatures into the low 60s, even some upper 50s showing up as we open up the door to the state of Wisconsin here. 58 in Watertown, same for Juneau, Camp Douglas, Black River Falls, and Wautoma, all at 55. The Dells at 59. So Madison is one of the warmer spots at 63, but our temperatures warm up as we go through the day. By lunch, look for those temperatures right around 78 degrees. If you want to eat dinner outside, look for those temperatures right around 83 degrees or so. So not too shabby. I think we'll see some sunshine all throughout that time period as well. No showers or thunderstorms out there right now. We're paying attention though to the upper Midwest as a whole to at least bring a chance for some showers and storms our direction, especially overnight tonight. This is 1 a.m. Pay attention to the western sky there. Some storms are going to be moving our direction. Coming up in Maine weather, we will time out when this will move in and when it may move out in time for perhaps your Sunday afternoon plans. Keely?
All right, Chris, thank you so much. In September, a new whiskey distillery will open its doors to the public down in Tennessee. The whiskey, called Uncle Nearest, honors the first known African-American master distiller in U.S. history. Nearest Green was the slave who taught Jack Daniels how to make whiskey, and now that the secret's out, Green is getting a shot at cementing his own legacy. CBS Saturday Morning anchor Michelle Miller reports.
This is about Tennessee history.
Best-selling author Fawn Weaver is an unlikely force in Tennessee whiskey country.
Just 2 weeks ago, these were all horse stalls.
In less than 3 years, she's launched Uncle Nearest and raised about $20 million to take over the whiskey's production and turn this horse farm into a distillery.
You went from reading a story in the International Times to becoming the first female, the first of color person to run a major whiskey or spirit brand.
Yeah, overall, period.
It's her way of honoring the man known to some as the godfather of Tennessee whiskey.
If you want to appreciate jazz, you better know who Louis Armstrong was. And if you want to appreciate American whiskey, you should know who Nathan Nearest Green was. They all died.
Jeffrey Wright from HBO's Westworld feels so passionately about preserving Green's story
Nearest Green was a slave here
that he made a short film to honor him. In the late 1850s, a farm owner's slave known as Nearest Green started working with a young orphan named Jack Daniel.
We just need to know stories like this because it smashes the lies.
There is no known photograph of Nearest Green, but this is his son George, sitting right next to Jack Daniel. A black man and a white man sitting side by side at a deeply divided time in the deep American South.
You have this great, iconic American brand and this thing that is representative of something that sits in our soul, that's created by the coming together of two families, an unlikely partnership.
That partnership was an open secret in Lynchburg, Tennessee.
It's kind of the same family.
William Hussey Jr. is a member of the Tennessee Squires, a Jack Daniels fan club of sorts.
You believe in this brand so much, you've literally inked it on your skin.
Yes, and this one here is the Jack Daniels, like the barrel house and different barrels. And this is my newest Uncle Nearest, which is a piece of Jack Daniels history.
This has changed the story that folks in these parts have been living with most of their lives. How are they dealing with it?
Well, I would say about 95% has understood and have accepted it. But I think there's still the 5% of old Southern boys who could care less, would like to keep everything hidden.
He's become an unlikely ambassador for Uncle Nearest, another steward of the story. as author Fawn Weaver likes to say.
Every single time you take that sip, you should be telling the story of Nearest. That's how we make sure that his legacy is not only cemented, but it continues on beyond us to the next generation.
I wish my grandmother could see this. I do. I am Nearest Green's great-great-granddaughter.
Victoria Edie Butler says the idea to make a whiskey bearing her ancestor's name came first from a member of Jack Daniel's family and then from her own.
Fawn was like, what can we do to keep Nearest Green's legacy alive? And one family member said, put his name on a bottle.
3 of Nearest Green's descendants still work at the Jack Daniel's distillery.
They were solidly behind you in this discovery mode of who Uncle Nearest was. You're their competition now, aren't you?
I do not consider myself competition whatsoever. When we go out into the marketplace, we are selling Uncle Nearest, but we are talking about Jack in a way that makes you want to drink Jack Daniel as well.
An unlikely friendship, an iconic American brand, and now a legacy that can never be forgotten.
What happens when everything we know about something changes?
This is a story that unifies us, and I think we so desperately need that now. We forever will be in this thing together, and that's the story of Nathan Nearest Green, Uncle Nearest, and Jack Daniel.
More local news ahead, including some help putting together your weekend plans. From a pride-filled parade to a race that literally everyone can and will want to participate in. Your Weekend 608 is next on News 3 Now this morning. Welcome back. It's the weekend in the 608.
And here's a look at what's happening in the Madison area.
First up, this is the 30th anniversary since the first Gay Pride Parade in Madison. But rather than just a parade, there are several things going on in the town this weekend, but we'll talk about two of them right now. Tonight, the Majestic Theater is hosting an evening of live hip-hop by a handful of local and regional LGBTQ artists. Among those performing at the 3rd annual Hot Summer Gays, as the event is called, is DeQuandre Smith, a student in the UW-Madison's First Wave Arts program. Then tomorrow from 1 to 6 p.m. at Warner Park is the Outreach Magic Festival. Speeches, more live music, entertainment for all ages, food and drink, and lots of vendors.
All right, the Fitchburg Agora Art Fair returns today to the Agora Center building. More than 100 artists and thousands of fairgoers are expected at the 11th annual art fair, showcasing local and regional painters, jewelers, ceramicists, photographers, and sculptors. You can go for the art, food, and drink. Bring the little ones too to the Children's Art Yard for some hands-on fun and creativity.
And you're gonna like this one, Chris. Whether you're a runner or not, tomorrow at 10 a.m. is the 0.1K Resistance Run. It may be the shortest charity race you could ever compete. Participants will start at the High Noon Saloon and run to the Sylvie, a distance of roughly 1 city block. It's very close together.
I can do
but
that
finishers will receive a medal and a 0.1K sticker to display with pride. And they get entry into the Sylvie for a show by the country and rock cover band, the Pork Tornadoes. A portion of proceeds will benefit Underdog Pet Rescue of Wisconsin.
That sounds like a band name for sure. The Pork Tornadoes.
Pork Tornadoes. You would
That's
like
a band
that one.
name and a half. All right. As always, you can get this month's copy of Madison Magazine for all of the best that the Madison area has to offer.
And something to keep in mind as you're out and about in the 608 this weekend, several streets are closed this morning for the Madison Mini Marathon. Roads will only be closed when runners are present, and police will be at the intersections to close streets as necessary. The only 2 streets closed right now before the race are at North Park and Langdon Streets, which is where this race starts and ends. All roads will reopen by 11 a.m. And running or not, this mild weather for August at least is pretty refreshing.
You're looking live over the Capitol. I'll have your full forecast next on News 3 Now this morning.
But first, let's take a look at who is 3 today. Happy birthday, Kayla and Tucker.
Look who's
Good Saturday morning. We're starting things out with temperatures that are into the low 60s. Some of us are seeing those temperatures into the upper 50s. But we have clear skies this morning as opposed to just 24 hours ago. Winds coming out of the south and southwest at about 5 miles per hour. But here's the temperature map for all of us as we open the door to south central Wisconsin. Check out Juneau at 56 degrees right now. Wautoma, Camp Douglas, both of those folks are at 55. We're a little bit warmer towards the lakeshore. That's where temperatures are also in the low 60s. Monroe at 65 right now. And high resolution Doppler is saying happy Saturday morning. And it's just completely relaxing because there are no showers or thunderstorms to track over the area. Now throughout the upper Midwest, that story is just a little bit different, especially as you work your way throughout parts of Kansas and Missouri. This area has seen explosive thunderstorms throughout the overnight hours. The reason for that, you have a cold front towards the north, a warm front towards the south. Both fronts are acting to force the air upwards. That's creating the lift needed for the thunderstorms down there. What's going to create our lift for thunderstorms later on tonight and tomorrow is this cold front that's going to be sagging down out of Canada into the high plains. In fact, watch what happens throughout the high plains this afternoon. Already some showers of thunderstorms begin to develop. That's going to move closer towards Wisconsin overnight tonight, and then as we move into tomorrow morning. And so that is where our best chance of showers and thunderstorms will be. But then we clear out behind that as high pressure takes over. But let's go ahead and time out the rain chances so you can plan your weekend. First of all, if you have plans this afternoon, don't cancel those. We'll see the sunshine, wind staying out of the south. This is lunchtime with those temperatures right around 78 degrees. We'll top out around 83. And FutureTrack tries, you see these tiny little dots, FutureTrack tries to show at least a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm going up, but I do think most of us stay dry until we get you towards the overnight hours. That's when the heaviest area of rain will move on through here. There's a marginal risk for some of those to be on the strong to severe side. That clears on out. We'll see more sunshine returning as we head into Sunday afternoon, and temperatures top out again into the mid 80s. And some of this rain could be on the heavier side. Notice that blanket of anywhere between ½ an inch to 3/4 of an inch, upwards towards 1 inch of rainfall. We're going to be watching it very closely overnight tonight and into tomorrow as that rainfall comes on through. Some sunshine takes over into Monday with another rain chance on Tuesday. That's a cold front on Tuesday, and I'm excited for it because it's going to sweep out some humidity as well by the middle of the week. Just look at how fantastic Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday are.
Our weekend.
Our days off. It's going to be great.
Perfectly
Yes.
timed. All right, thank you, Chris.
My pleasure.
Well, we've been asking you to share your morning with us. This is from Cheryl Bosch. She shared this beautiful cornfield. Thank you so much for sharing. And what does your morning look like? Take a picture and post it to the Channel 3000 Facebook page or on Twitter using the hashtag MyNews3Morning. We'll share our favorites right here on News 3 Now this morning, Saturday. And stick with News 3 all day long. And then tomorrow morning, Wisconsin has no shortage of local vineyards producing great Wisconsin wines. We sent our Susan Simon to check out the Botham Vineyard in Barneville, and we'll take you along. But first, running his news operation out of his parents' house, we'll introduce you to the kiddo reporter making headlines of his own for all the stories he's tackling. We'll be right back.
At A1
Finally this morning, we end with a reporter who is not afraid to ask the tough questions and make sure every voice is heard in his hometown of Toledo, Ohio.
Did we mention he's only 11 years old? Mola Linghai reports.
This is the Eyewitness News room.
And it also, I guess, doubles as your family's dining room, too.
Yeah,
right?
but we never eat in here. That's the thing.
Toledo's Jaden Jefferson is working his own news operation.
Now, if you really want to see it up close, in the mornings it can get hectic because if I get breaking news, I try to print out that story, read over it, and then post some stuff to social media, write a web story for it. So it's a lot.
A lot for anyone, let alone a self-taught 11-year-old multimedia journalist. He writes, shoots, produces, and edits his own stories.
The city will file orders for you to make sure that your grass is cut. Yeah, it really is just me. The we part comes in with my grandma. She's the driver. Our trek to the car.
He may not have a news van or a news team, but in Jaden's case, that's what family's for. Mom Linnell and Dad James are their son's biggest fans.
We're Jaden's parents everywhere we go. I mean, I'm getting people that work all the time stopping me, saying, hey, you know, I'm like, yeah, that's our son.
When you interview presidential candidates, the chance of you being squashed by media is high.
Last month, Jaden was shoulder to shoulder with the national press. He posed the first question to and got an exclusive with presidential candidate Senator Elizabeth Warren.
Yes, what separates you from the other candidates?
No, I can only tell you about why I'm inspired.
I still believe this to this day. If I wasn't 11, man, my camera would not be in the front. What are you doing for equal opportunities for people of color?
So that's a really good question. You know, every time I think about economic issues, I stop and say, but let's also see how it intersects with race.
The next day, he sat with another presidential candidate, Ohio Congressman Tim Ryan.
Why did you decide to join us today?
Well, I'm a politician, so I'm going to try to talk to any reporter I can find between where I'm at and where I'm going.
He's constantly consuming local and national news broadcasts and studying YouTube tutorials. Not exactly your average preteen.
Outlook just, saved my life. But
this is the stuff that really gets you excited.
Yes.
Stuff like Outlook and
Outlook
formatting.
actually excites me. Well, right now I'm just getting the camera mounted to the tripod.
This fall, Jaden will be a 6th grader.
I'm serious about what I'm asking. I'm not laughing, joking, kidding, making a joke. It's me asking a serious question and getting a serious response.
Jaden might have a question. Toledo Mayor Wade Kapsakavich has often found himself on the receiving end of Jaden's tough questions.
You know, he first started showing up at public meetings and gatherings with his camera in tow. I assumed it was some sort of a class project.
Mayor Kapsakavich says he sees the value Jaden brings to Toledo.
He makes the world a better place. I know it sounds corny, but he does in our town. And if we had more people like him, I'd go so far as to say we'd have a better quality journalism, a better understanding of facts. We might just have a better world, too.
And that is one assignment Jaden is always working.
What's the importance of journalism as you see it? Why does media have an important role in our country?
I'm going to say this really clear. It makes your life easier. And it helps you stay informed and keeps you safe. Where many come out to their local park.
I'm sorry, did they steal footage of you as a child?
That was me at 11 too. I'll have to find a YouTube link.
I know, you said you did that. You would create your own newscast.
I would do the same thing and create my own newscast. Nowhere near as high tech. I didn't have that technology.
And
I
now
used Movie Maker.
You can deliver
from then to here.
News.
So
yeah.
I'm excited to see where Jaden ends up by the time he's, I guess, 13 years down the road. So we'll see. Forecast-wise, we'll see a chance for storms overnight tonight and into Sunday morning. We'll clear out by Sunday afternoon with temperatures topping out right around 84. The middle of the week is the best part of your forecast. And here's Indy and Beaver Dam. Beautiful, beautiful pets that we have been showing on here lately.
She's just like perfect. I don't know if that's a girl or a boy. Indy?
Me neither.
All right, well, we'll find out in our next hour at 8 o'clock. Thanks for watching.